All right. Perfect. Welcome everyone out there in Facebook land, everyone on Zoom. I'm Dr. Rob Van Bergen, and today you are joined by me and Annie Svensen. Hi, Annie. Annie
Hello.
is our lead treatment coordinator here at Pain Free for Life. So essentially, she keeps my sanity in check by making sure that everyone is getting the help that they need without necessarily me having to be involved in every single treatment
Yeah.
plan, which is kind of how it used to be, right? Before you came on board, we would I
Mhm.
was just sit there and I'd be answering emails and phone calls all the time. So I am going to hit record and we're going to get started here. Okay, so again, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. So we have a bunch of questions already. So I'm going to pull those up and we will get started because we're only here for an hour this morning, though we are getting back together this afternoon as well. Slightly different format then, but I'm sure we'll still be taking questions. I think we did last year as well.
Great.
Okay. So the first question, and when I saw this question come in, I was like, "Oh, Annie's gonna love this one because it's specifically for you, but it's related to mindset."
Mm.
So it says, Annie, Rob has discussed mindset this week, but what is your take on the role that mindset plays in becoming pain-free, and how has that been incorporated into the reset?
I think mindset is paramount. If you are doing all of the right things with what we teach in the reset with, stress management, sleep hygiene, exercising accordingly for, how your body needs to move, using your microcurrent, all of those things, and you're thinking constantly, this isn't going to work. I'm never going to be better. I'm always going to be in pain, on and on and on. That will be your reality. Because it's weird to think, but your brain doesn't know the difference between what you were thinking and reality. It can't perceive a difference between the two. So your thoughts, your words, all of that is super, super important. So if you have a mindset that this isn't going to work, you're never going to get better, that's what will happen. And mindset is absolutely paramount to healing.
Right.
And we have a whole section of the course where we go into that. And we talk about ownership, we talk about mindset, we talk about all of that kind of stuff because it's so, so important.
I know
Yeah.
when we were designing the reset, we had a little bit of a concern about putting mindsets too early in the workbook because I think the idea was we don't want people to think we're telling them it's in their head because that's not the point at all, right? The point is that power of positive thinking versus negative thinking. And we do see that. Like we have these devices, this microcurrent equipment that can literally change the way your cells function. But then we have people that can also change the way their cells function and react just by the way they're thinking. And I know we've had patients over the last few years that have come into this with the idea that nothing's going to help me. And
Well,
guess
they've
what?
done MRI studies on it and they
Yeah.
can see how the brain reacts based on certain thoughts
Yeah.
and things shut down, things light up based on what you're thinking. Like, I mean, there's science behind this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing either. Like,
No.
it's so crucial. It really is. So
Mhm.
we're on the same page there.
Yeah.
So, okay, we got a question here that says, "Good morning, Dr. Rob and Annie. So nice to see you both. Can the vagus nerve stim be used 2 times daily for 6 minutes each to meet 12 minutes requirement per day instead of 4 times for 3 minutes?" This is part one of three in the question here.
Yeah.
What's your take on that, Annie?
Here's the thing. We tell people a minimum of 3 minutes, up to 20 minutes. What I tell people is when you're doing vagus nerve stimulation, close your eyes, focus on your breathing. And what you're looking for is the moment when you feel your body power down, the moment that the nervous system switches from fight or flight into rest and digest. For some people, it takes longer than 3 minutes. For some people, it's shorter. So it's very based on the person. It's based on how stressed they are, what's going on around them. There's a lot of variables. And you're looking for things like taking a deep breath without thinking about it, sighing, yawning. These are all good signs. So the 3 minutes is like not a super hard and fast rule. And from my standpoint, trying to space it out and do those 3 to 4 a day instead of like we have some people who will just do one long session. The thing about doing 3 to 4 a day is throughout the day, you're reminding your nervous system to stay in rest and digest. So it's this constant check-in with the nervous system to say, hey, stay in rest and digest, which is where we need to be to heal. So if people can really truly get in 3 to 4 sessions a day where they're getting to that point of calming, that is the ideal situation.
Yeah, and I would concur with that as well. Like my opinion of it is all about training your nervous system. And you don't want to be stuck in this position where I suppose you're just not going to make the nervous system make lasting change because all you're doing is triaging whenever these things come up. And we say this a lot about microcurrent in general, but that consistency, right? Like don't say, oh, I did it for a week and it did nothing. That's the worst when you hear something, someone's like,
It
it just
takes a
didn't
long
work.
time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like, this is training, right? It's
Yeah.
training your nervous system, which has been dysfunctional for months, years, decades in many people's cases. So
Mhm.
it needs to be
Yeah.
trained back into that point.
Yeah.
And I do think as well, there's also a really good point to take away from this as well, which is that we shouldn't um, be so stuck on times. Like we have a lot of people that do that with microcurrent. They're like, oh, well, Rob in his video said 15 minutes with pads, so I did it for exactly 15 minutes. But you're really treating for change.
Mhm.
And we've gotten over the years, even since like how long have you been with us for? 3, 4 years now?
3 years, a
Three
little over
years.
3 years, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a decrease in treatment time, right? We haven't been
Yeah.
increasing it. We've been knocking it down. It's like, oh, it used to be do 15 minutes of this and 10 minutes of this. And now we're at like, just do 3 to 5 minutes and then, move it around,
You're
see how
just
you feel.
facilitating a conversation between
Yeah.
the body and the brain, and then you need to step back and let the work be integrated and processed by the body.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you don't want to overdo it. So
So follow-up questions to that first question were, if using vagus nerve at dinner or lunch, do you treat prior to the meal or after? And then the other one is not about vagus nerve.
yeah, I feel like, I mean, I don't know that I would say that it matters, maybe. I
No.
mean, maybe prior, so you're to get the gut going,
That's kind of
perhaps.
what I would
But
say too.
yeah,
Treat
but I mean, if
prior.
you do that and you don't feel like it benefits your digestion, then try after. I mean, I
Yeah.
tell clients all the time, get curious, use your
Mhm.
own intuition, try different things and see what works best for you, because what works best for you may not work best for me. So
Yes,
sometimes it's hard to give a hard and fast rule on certain things.
it is. We have these general protocols, but you kind of got to see what the individual takes and
Yeah,
responds.
yeah.
And then the general eye health protocol, can it be used in the morning and the evening twice daily? I mean, I don't like over treating the eyes, so I tend to
So,
just say once a day, but the consistent pattern is more important to me than it even being done daily. Like if you can only do it every 3 days or every 2 days, just make sure you stick to that. Because again, it's training, it's changing.
yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily go with more than once a day for eye treatments.
Okay.
Okay, what is the best treatment for dementia?
Gamma Energizer.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Gamma Energizer. So it'd be I'm just seeing the person's first name, so I don't recognize their last name. We have a lot of Marys. So if you already have access to the video library, you'd go into the video library and search Gamma, and it will come up.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I agree, it's the number one treatment. And it typically uses the VHE. You can
Mhm.
kind of do it without with the pads without the VHE, but the VHE just goes so much deeper into the brain. So that's kind of the way we do prefer to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next question is, Annie, what do you recommend when people have trouble finding their vagus nerve? This,
Yeah, so the thing is, we always tell people find your carotid artery, right? And then you kind of go about an inch back. You're going kind of on like the back edge of this big ropey muscle, kind of between the bump behind your ear and your collarbone. And here's what I find works really well. Use the Y probe and you put it where you think it is. And sometimes if you just change the angle of the probe, so you're holding it and you just change the angle of the probe, all of a sudden you're like, oh, there it is. Because it's kind of it's not stuck in there really hard and fast, right? So and sometimes in the course of a treatment, I will need to change the angle of the probe. I found it and then I'm like, ooh, it's not there anymore. Change the angle. Oh, there it is again. So it's really, that's why I like using the Y probe instead of the vagus nerve pad, is because I can manipulate the Y probe and really target it.
Yeah, I
You'll
have.
know when you're on it. You'll know. Feels very different than treating anywhere else in the body. There's a tingling, a simmering, a dancing. People, they're all word people use to describe the sensation. It's very different than anywhere else.
Yeah, and I think it's important. It's a good question because I don't treat patients very often. I mean, we live in a very remote part of Canada on an island in a mountain range area. And so I don't see a lot of patients in person. So when I'm showing people, I'm like, yeah, okay, well, you just do this and you find it here. And I know where it is almost by touch. So with you working with all of these clients, I know that people do say, I can't find my vagus nerve, Dr. Rob. And I'm like, well, this is how I find it. But you've had that like hands-on experience with so many people. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got to be over 1,000 people that you have on
Oh,
your
well over 1,000
yeah,
people.
on your own plate, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 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 Yeah.
So, okay. So great. So that's a great answer. Will microcurrent help to regenerate a torn hip labrum? Well, I mean, the general answer is yes, it should. But you got to do the pieces of that puzzle first, right? You have to make sure you get rid of the inflammation, and you have to
Mhm.
start working on the regeneration, and you have to do that in sequence. You can't just, in my experience, you want to hit the area with anti-inflammatory, and then right after go into your regenerative, because if you don't, you're not taking advantage of the anti-inflammatory treatment,
Yeah.
and then you're kind of stuck because you need to get the inflammation down if you want to heal in general, right?
Yes.
Now, being that that's kind of the cartilage area, I kind of am always a little bit of a mixed bag as to what kind of tissue that is in regeneration. So you're kind of looking at the 7 to 12 hertz and
Yeah.
working along that spectrum of regeneration would be kind of the option I would suggest there.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Can the cellular makeover book be used with the evolution?
It
Yeah,
can.
it
Yeah.
can. We don't have, like, I mean, to get into some specifics, we don't really have the all of the ideal frequencies for cosmetic in there, but you've got the two for the face, perfect. And then you've got the two substitutes for the eye ones. So you
Yeah.
kind of substitute, I think 7 to 12 hertz substitutes for face stem, for eye stem, and 32 to 45 substitutes for eye smooth, if
Right.
my morning
So you
brain is
can
working.
get close. It's not spot on like with the Easy Lift or the Pinnacle, but you can
Yeah.
get close.
Yeah, you can get close. And we used to, the original Vazia Life used to have all the cosmetic programs in it, but we were like, well, what's more valuable, vagus nerve stimulation or being
Yes.
able to reduce wrinkles around your eyes, right? So we kind of made
Yeah.
that critical choice.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so can microcurrent help with a subconjunctival eye hemorrhage when using the eye protocol? What would be your call on that, Annie, if someone asked you, or would you then ask me?
I would probably ask you. I mean, I would lean toward let's go low and slow at it. Use 7 to 12 hertz for like 3 minutes because we are talking about a hemorrhage. So we're talking
Yeah.
about bleeding. So I would say go in low and slow at it. If you have the scalar chi, I would definitely use the scalar chi, and I would maybe even consider using it. We normally say scalar chi with using blue stimulation on each temple for 3 minutes. I would say use 7 to 12.
That'd
Um,
be
so I would go real low and slow at it. I wouldn't go too hard at it.
Yeah. Yeah, we have, I mean, I do agree. I think it's really important to note anything to do with like blood clots, hemorrhages, and realize that we're increasing blood flow by nearly 500%. So that's not necessarily good. And if you've got a hemorrhage, if you've got an active bleed somewhere, you will bleed more if you're treating that area. But with scalar, even like as Annie said, be really conservative with it because 7 to 12 hertz on scalar is like the lowest you can really go. But scalar is still recorded to increase blood flow by 80%. So,
Right.
and that's at a higher frequency, but it's still going to do something.
Yeah.
And yeah, just to be concerned with that. It's the same sort of thing when we deal with wet macular degeneration, and we're like, well, wet macula has bleeds because your blood vessels are so weak. So we want to make sure we strengthen those prior
Yeah.
to treatment.
Take it slow.
Yeah, take it slow. Um, okay. Can you tell me what is in the stress toolkit and what comes with it? I, you know, it's funny, a funny question because we designed it last year and I believe it's links to resources. It's out of my brain. I can't remember exactly what it is.
Isn't
but
that
it's linked.
terrible?
Yeah, it is terrible, isn't it? It's links to resources and essentially like exercises and things that are for stress reduction.
I think
So
we make some suggested supplementation,
yeah, I believe
suggestions in
so as
there and things
well.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I think we have like a couple meditation options, like
yeah,
guided meditations in there,
yeah.
that kind of.
Yeah. Okay. So this person said, I'm challenged by sensitivity to using the evolution. I've been using the scaler before attempting vagus nerve. I can tolerate the scaler for 3 minutes, but still getting headaches with vagus nerve stim. Where should I be placing the scaler on my body before vagus nerve? I would almost consider doing the brain because
Yeah. I would too.
that's the kind of the hub of the vagus nerve. Yeah, right on the third eye point, and see if you can do it then. And then as far as the headaches from the vagus nerve, is it
Mhm.
immediately upon touching it? Or honestly, Annie, I wasn't paying attention. I thought you just picked up a big jug of chocolate milk and started drinking it. I was like, what are you doing?
I wish. No, it's my water, Rob. My water.
So anyway, back to it. I wonder if the touching of is it the current immediately, or is it the sensation of the vagus nerve stimulation that is doing it? Because sometimes the musculature in there shaking can cause headaches. And since I believe you've done other treatments on your body based on the name, and not have the same sensitivity, I'm wondering if it's kind of like something that's trapped and shaking versus that. The other thing would be to try the same sort of treatment with up against the ear. And I know in my earlier video, yeah, right there, I said,
A ball here, right
yeah,
in front of
I
the
think
ear.
I have a Y probe, yeah. So kind of like that. Although I've said that, I don't like it as much, it's still better than no vagus nerve, right? And it
Right.
should start to train the nerve a little bit to accept the current.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you,
uh,
Nicolette. Kind of you.
oh, is someone just being nice to you? That's perfect. I like to see that. I want to read it out. It says, thank you, Annie. You're so wise and I adore you. I'm grateful for having you always there as part of my support team in this program. Just because they said it privately. But
Oh, it went to everyone.
yeah. Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure that everyone knows how great you are. Um,
Oh, thank
okay, so what is the best way to diffuse headaches caused by microcurrents? So that's kind of tricky because if
I mean,
I've
if
had
vagus nerve is causing the headache, because we're talking to Mickey again. So if vagus nerve is causing the headache, typically what we tell people to do for headaches, one of the best things you can do is treat the left side vagus nerve. And if you
Mhm.
don't feel the headache is gone or it's increased after, treat the right side vagus nerve.
Yeah,
So you could try that, Mickey, and see how that goes. The
yeah,
other option is to use 7 to 12 hertz and paint the area, like, try and get rid of neck tension or,
yeah,
where you're kind of feeling the headache.
yeah.
Um,
Because it is kind of you get stuck in these situations when your main recommendation is to use microcurrent, and then people's like, well, the microcurrents make me feel kind of crummy. How do I make myself feel better with the microcurrent? It's kind of a catch-22 in a way.
yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think going to the right side vagus nerve and trying that, it may be that there's kind of there's part of that, the polyvagal theory that perhaps the vagus nerve is in a trauma state and you need to work on both sides to release that. So certainly look to that. And then Mickey also asked, during the last Q&A, Dr. Rob recommended using elimination assistance protocol for mold/COVID issues. Does this protocol overwhelm the organs in removing toxins? I only have one kidney. Can I use the scaler before using elimination since I have tolerance issues? Yes, I mean, in my experience and opinion would be yes, you can absolutely use the scaler first. And it shouldn't overwhelm the organs. It's actually supposed to relieve the pressure on the organs more so than anything else.
Yeah.
Um, and just in case you haven't done that discharge of the C7 as well, that's certainly worth giving it a go.
Yeah, and the grounding protocol is great.
Yeah,
Just calming the body down, just getting things to release and calm. Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, and then for general wellness, what maintenance microcurrent protocols do you use daily?
Well, we're always going to stay vagus nerve stimulation and mitochondrial recharge. I mean, those are the things we really recommend people do daily in perpetuity because they're so great for overall health and wellness. that is really like, they're really great. Some people do vagus nerve and grounding, depending on their tolerance with mitochondrial recharge. It is stimulating. It does increase energy. So you use it earlier in the day. Don't do it before going to bed. But those are kind of the things that we recommend on a daily basis. I mean, scalar is great on a daily basis, just,
Yep.
Forehead, solar plexus, pelvis, just to keep everything kind of clean and going. And but those are kind of the top ones from my perspective, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, I was going to say well, depending on how many videos I'm doing in a day, I might do the energy boost protocol where I've zapped my trigeminal nerve.
Gamma energizer
Yeah,
before.
gamma energizer, try and keep things clear and going. At the moment, the last week of talking consistently, I've been experiencing like a sore throat, which makes sense. So I've been doing Pirogov's ring 3 times a day as well, which is kind of keeping me going. Those people who joined me on my day 2 video and noticed me have a choking fit, that didn't really help. But real life live videos, guys, nothing edited here. So yeah, I think the general wellness though, I mean, mitochondrial recharge, vagus nerve, those are definitely the ones that we see most commonly for sure. And can you apply treatment to animals without using the PEMF pad? Yeah, I mean, you can use the brush. Some people use the Y probe even, but the thing is like with the PEMF pad, you don't have to worry about, are you zapping your animal, because they can't tell you. Well, they'll tell you, but you can't essentially easily gauge whether they can feel it, and you don't want to zap them and have them run away from the device, right? So the PEMF pad.
It seems like most animals, I mean, my dog wouldn't let me close to him with any of it. I mean,
Yeah.
he just, so
Yeah.
he would do better with like scalar via chi, chi wave pad, PEMF basically.
Yeah.
But some dogs really like the brush. Some dogs like to be brushed. And so you just, you can use that instead.
Yep. Yep. It's going to be different, just like people, right? Different preferences to how it goes. But yeah, you have options for sure.
Yeah.
Best treatment for neuropathic pain in the feet. That's always tricky because it always comes down to looking at the device.
Yeah.
If you only have the evolution, neuropathic pain is hard. I've mentioned that a few times this past 2 weeks. The nerves respond really well to 2 hertz, which is regenerative, and really well to 1,000 hertz, which is going to try and wake them up. And the evolution's highest is to 350 and lowest is 7. So it doesn't quite get there. Some people will try blue stim, fMRSI, because neuropathic pain can also be due to poor circulation. So there's lots of different options. The best treatment is just to use the Pinnacle with Sanabio2, and kind of have it automatically treat the nerves. But diet and everything like that plays a big role in that as well, right? You need to
if they have if they already are in the video library, in the Hache protocol video library, because they have a device and they're in there with the videos, just search on neuropathy.
Yeah.
And the protocol will come up. Yeah.
Absolutely. Can the vagus nerve be treated in a different place than the neck? I think, that question came out before we brought that up because we've got so many questions.
I think so too.
But yeah, you can try using it there. And then someone said, I never knew that there was a vagus nerve pad. Wow. Yeah. I don't even have one.
I literally used it once and I was like,
yeah, I have some people
love it.
Some people like to use it and they even hold it in place, like put a little bit of pressure on it. It's less noticeable that you're getting the treatment, in my experience, than the Y probe. I think you get a gentler kind of jiggle, but it's not, as you said, you can't move it around. You can't slide it around. It sticks to your neck. So you'd have to pick it up, probably zap in your hands, and then put it back in a different spot. Yeah, so it's a little awkward, but for hands-free, it's good for people that have like arthritis really badly and are struggling to use their hands. Yeah, that's definitely a reason that we like having it.
Yeah.
So question, do dental amalgams block? Is it necessary to remove them to expect healing? That's kind of a loaded question, really.
It is a loaded question.
Yeah. I mean,
I wish we paid more attention in our society in general about oral health and how it affects the rest of the body, because it very much does. your mouth and all the teeth mapped to organs and organ systems and everything in your body. Like it's very important.
Yeah.
Um, so I feel like that's a really loaded question. I don't feel you know,
I don't necessarily feel like they would block the body's function. I think the thing to be more concerned about is like root canals, where you
right.
kill, because most of the, I mean, the tooth is almost like a shell over the nerve, which is part of the meridian and maps to those organs. So killing the nerve off is the riskier business than using these. I've had people that have gone in to holistic dentists and had all of their like fillings and stuff removed and replaced with, you know, something that they can actually consider be a bit healthier, but it's expensive and it's
Mhm.
time consuming. And for what I've heard, it's not a comfortable experience either to have all of that dental work redone. I don't think it's necessary to remove them to expect healing, no. But I would certainly, if I had root canals, I would be looking at treating the gums and the nerves and the roots for sure. Okay, I see a note saying the vagus nerve stim protocol is not approved in the US. Does this mean the program is not available to me since I live in the States? No. So 80% of the protocols we recommend are considered off-label treatments. And you'll see this in the video library when you do the terms and conditions. The US only approves the devices for the treatment of chronic pain, which you'd think would encompass a lot of things if we're trying to treat chronic pain. But it's very specifically like, you know, they want you to treat it more like a TENS device. They want you to just treat your body and get rid of your aches and pains for a bit. That's it. So no, the device is not different where you are. Like in Europe, the devices are approved for vagus nerve stimulation because all of the electrical devices in Europe are pretty much approved for vagus nerve stimulation. But in America, they're not. You get the same device, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in the US. You just have to be aware that treatments that are considered off-label are at the risk of the individual because the FDA will not, you know, they don't want you to do them. But you still get the program and everything like that.
Yeah.
Is the third edition microcurrent medicine manual the same for both devices? Yes. So the third edition book doesn't come with the device. It's like a general textbook, and it links. It says use this mode or this mode or this
Yeah.
mode. So depending on your device, you pick the mode you have. What is included in the third edition microcurrent book table of contents?
So much.
Yeah, so much. I mean, it would go. I have my one here. I was supposed to give this to a client, but my cat chewed it, so I'll never not know it's mine because it's got a chewed spine. But I mean, there's 100 and how many pages?
I don't even know. 100.
154 pages with one protocol per page, right? So, you know, for the most part, you're looking at probably 120, 130 protocols, and then there's some stuff in there about scalar and PEMF. Now, not every condition is included there, but most of our protocols are. And then you get the video library to supplement the other stuff that's missing.
It's a great resource for people who prefer to read the protocol than watch a video. So it's, you know, I know I have some clients who really like it, some clients who find the video library more helpful. You know, I think it's a great resource. I reference kind of both often. So
And I love my paperback book, but I like having the ebook because I can just, you know, control F and search for a word like
yeah.
Crohn's and up it pops.
Hmm. Yeah.
So having that on an iPad is good.
Yeah.
And the book you get with the device, it covers basic general protocols for the device itself and how to use your device. And then the current medicine is more like a supplemental book.
Yeah.
Where can we find the replays? So my team will post in the chat there, but you go to pffljumpstartreplays.com. The replays go down tonight though at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So you got to make sure you watch those fast before they disappear. Will the third iPad be available soon? Yes. We are currently anyone that ordered the third iPad. We were holding orders, and if they didn't want the orders to be held, we refunded the third iPads because we're not sure when we're going to get them. The new shipment has been initiated, and I hope to get them within about a month. Okay, I just received the Santa blanket. and it's a godsend. I can tolerate it for 10 minutes and it's so super relaxing. Thank you for recommending it. Plus, it's beautiful.
Good.
You're very welcome. Glad you like it. It's interesting. It still baffles me, like, the concept of a blanket it's not plugged into the wall that can do so much for people. But keep doing it and trying to increase the treatment time. Like you said, you can tolerate it for 10 minutes. Try and build up to 20 over time. Once you start to get really comfortable with it, add an extra minute and just keep going. Because the more you can expose your body to its own electromagnetic field, the healthier your electromagnetic field will be. I just received my evolution. What is the best protocol to get my body out of fight or flight and anxiety? Is it vagus nerve, mitochondrial, gamma? I have a constant knot in my stomach and tight throat, heart flutters at a time, fatigue, etc. So definitely, if you haven't already connected with your treatment coordinator, highly recommend you do, because you'll get into the library and everything like that. And they'll be able to help you specifically with an intake form, which you can list everything that's going on and out on there. But usually to get the body out of fight or flight immediately, like to just kind of get some relaxation, do the ear clips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the alpha
Vagus
ear
nerve
clips.
stimulation and ear clips are going to be the go-to. And the thing about the ear clips, when you're using them with 7 to 12 hertz, it's one of the few things you can't overdo. You can literally run that for hours. I'm a nervous passenger in a car, and my husband's driving drives me bonkers. So when we're on road trips, I've got those ear clips on for hours at a time. The ear clips are phenomenal. It's one of my absolute favorite protocols.
Yeah.
So I would say to do the vagus, be faithful about vagus nerve stimulation, and then to do the ear clips as much as you possibly can.
Yeah. And I would say the only thing, because you're right, you can't really overdo the alpha ear clips, but do bear in mind you might get sore ears.
Yeah,
So
you can. Yeah, I switch it so that the electrode's on the front, and then maybe the next time the electrode's on the back, you can put a little aloe gel on your ear to
yeah,
help it feel a little more comfortable. So there's some things you can do to help out with that.
yeah, absolutely. But though that's great for that. Um, okay, Facebook. I think this is a follow-up to the previous question. So in feet causing pain as a cause of neuropathy, poor circulation. I'm not really sure. So like, what is the cause of neuropathy? So you think about your garden, right? And you have plants in your garden. If you don't water them, they die. It's the same, but the nerves of your body need blood flow. They need oxygen. If you don't water them, they die. And that's what neuropathy is. It's the nerves dying off. So it's due to typically poor circulation, which is why people that have diabetes, type 2, tend to develop neuropathy. But it's typically just a poor circulation thing. And when you restore that circulation, if you get in early enough, you can stop before nerve damage has progressed. I believe somewhere it's suggested to only do 3 protocols daily. If you do the vagus nerve stimulation and the mitochondrial protocol daily, can you do more than one other protocol daily, or just one more to make the 3? I don't know where we suggest only doing 3 protocols daily.
Yeah, I think it might have. I know someone else brought this up to me, and here's the reality of the situation. Everybody's body is going to tolerate treatments different. I can treat myself back to back to back for hours doing various different things. I can do vagus nerve, then I can treat my liver, then I can treat my eyes, then I can, I'm not treating the same area for hours and hours, right? I'm doing different parts of my body. I can do a lot and I get good response in my body and I can tolerate it. It doesn't feel overwhelming to me. Some people cannot do that. So it's very dependent upon the person and how their body responds to the microcurrent. So you kind of got to play around with it a little bit and see how it goes for you. And if you don't feel well, that's where you go in, you do elimination assistance, which helps get your body feeling good again. And you know that you need to back it down. So if you find that you're one of those people who can really only focus on a few things a day, right? So vagus nerve, mitochondria, then pick your top priority. Is it hip pain? Is it foot pain? Is it an autoimmune condition? Pick your top priority and focus there. And when that is resolved or well managed, move on to another priority and just keep layering them, not layering them in on top of everything else, but you just start, this is complete, I move to this. This is complete, I move to this. So that's why we ask people in the intake form, what are your top priorities? We want to help you focus your energy, A, so you don't become overwhelmed, and B, so your body doesn't become overwhelmed. So
Yeah. Well, before we had that on the forum, people would say, I want to treat these 27 conditions.
45 things.
And then, yes, you send them back protocols for all of them. And they're like, I don't know where to begin. Because it's like, well, here's, 30 protocols. Good
Yeah.
luck. So it's better to focus in on those priorities. If you could imagine getting rid of 2 to 3 things that are worse for you, what would those be? That's the key.
Yeah.
And I still think, the elimination assistance protocol, I still can't believe that we went so long without using that because
It's so great.
it's existed for a long time. And it was one of those things I didn't even know was something we did until I was on a course with my dad. And someone was like, I'm feeling really bad after the three pathways. It was really draining. And he's like, oh, let's just do elimination assistance. And I pulled out my phone and I started recording it. I was like, this isn't written anywhere. It's not recorded
Yeah.
anywhere. So
Yeah.
you gotta extract everything from the minds of those that have been doing this for a long
Yeah.
time. Yeah, that's kind of what we've done with the library. Okay, treatment for slow metabolism and increasing fat metabolism. I don't know if we have treatment.
We do not have something specific for weight loss, for metabolism, things like that, because we've never found a protocol that really targets this well. What we have found is that working on improving gut health can help. You're in lowering systemic inflammation with vagus nerve stimulation. These kinds of things can help. We do have a protocol called up and down spirals
Oh yes,
in
that one.
the video library, and I believe it's the up spiral is said to be helpful for weight. But yeah, we don't, because there's so many things that can factor in with metabolism, right? Is it a hormone issue? Is it, there's so many different things that can factor in. So it's really a matter of kind of like figuring out what's at the root of that and then treating the root.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, a lot of that will come down less to microcurrent and more to the other pieces of the
Right.
reset, right? Improving
Stress
your metabolism.
management,
Yeah.
sleeping. I mean, sleep is so crucial for your metabolism.
Yeah.
Eating regular meals, like there's so many other things about the reset aside from microcurrent. That's a great point. That
Yeah.
will be helpful for the metabolism side of
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
I struggle with that too because we are known for microcurrent. And so
Right.
people
That's where my head originally,
that's where your head goes, but it's just because you automatically are already incorporating all of the other things because we've been doing that for so long that it's hard to think that other people may not be, right? And that might be why they're in these situations in the first place. So like
Yeah.
as we've been discussing over the last week and a bit, it's this idea of a holistic body and having to look at all of the elements that make that up.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can't lose sight of that stuff. And then someone had said, won't the replays always be there for those who bought the reset protocol? And yes, they will. So if you buy before tonight, you will get access to all of the replays from this week. Okay, so when you do the reset Q&A sessions, do you cover everything or just answer questions about microcurrent?
There's no way to cover everything. We need 32 hours to even start to cover everything. There's a lot, but yeah,
I mean,
answering the questions that are asked.
yeah, we just kind of answer what's asked. I mean, last year we ended up with a lot of questions about detox and homeopathics and supplements. I mean, we did answer questions about everything. I'd still say at least 50% of the questions are microcurrent when we do the reset because people are like, how can I use it for this? That I just realized I have, right? So yeah. But we do kind of, as far as like, do we cover anything you want us to cover in the Q&As? Yes, if it's within our abilities, we do.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's see.
Yeah.
I have lipedema, which is an inherited loose connective tissue disorder that causes fibrotic tissue to accumulate in and around the lymph vessels in the arms and legs. It eventually leads to lipolymphedema. Would there be any way the Avasia might help this condition to move lymph? Yeah. We have the new lymphatic drainage protocol video, which I think is one of the newer crash courses I did, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah. And that will involve, full disclosure, I do talk a lot about using the PEMF pad in that, just because it covers a large area of your body. So you can do a lot of the drainage like at once. You can probably make it work with a microcurrent, and there's a lot of steps to that being microcurrent. but it's all about helping with that lymphatic drainage to move the lymph and stop it kind of building up in those areas. The other piece is, as you said, it being an inherited loose connective tissue disorder. So it's based on, if it's inherited, DNA, right? And we do look at scalar a lot for repairing damaged DNA. So there's a possibility, if you have the scalar, of making use of that as well to assist with the condition.
Yeah. And that's where with the reset, that's where things like exercise come in, right? Exercise, movement, rebounding, things like that are also very good for your lymphatic system.
Yeah.
So that's where like we talk about that with regard to like in the reset, that would be the part that would be helpful there is the movement piece.
Yes, absolutely. Another question I got private messaged here was about the HGH protocol, which is the human growth hormone one in the Pinnacle. And we didn't create that. Avasia created that mode based off of the frequencies that are supposed to stimulate the human growth hormone. And they named it something really dumb, like high gain harmony, when the FDA asked them what it was. But it was intended to be for stimulating HGH. But we use it through a meridian point on the hand. And yeah, right there. It's pretty easy to do. A lot of people incorporate it into their protocols just because it is simple to do. So yeah, it's there. It's in the video library.
It's one I think we recommend weekly. It's not something you want to do daily.
You don't want to do it all the time.
Yeah, some protocols you just do occasionally, and that's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. When doing mitochondrial recharge, should you increase power to feel something in either feet or hands? So yeah, usually it's the hands, right, that you kind of go for first, because you're going to feel the hands before you feel the feet in most cases.
If you get it for what's comfortable for your feet, your hands are sizzling. So yeah. You want to focus on what your hand feels. Yeah. And know that, people get really caught up on power level, how high they can go, how, this is not a more is more scenario. It's what's comfortable for you at that moment. And it can change within the course of a treatment. There comes a moment where you have something called breakthrough, where your brain goes, oh, hey, she's doing something. I feel this more now. Great. Lower the power.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I feel this now and I want more. Increase the power.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it's just showing the treatment is progressing. And for anyone that's new, I'm going to address this right here and now. When you're increasing the power, hold the button down. Okay. Hold it down. There's no end to the amount of people that are curious about that. They're like, my device isn't working, because they'll press the power button one at a time. There are 250 power levels in the device, meaning that to get to the point of sensation for you could be 250 individual clicks, or it could be 10. So, and it's going to change, as you said, it'll change every treatment, because how hydrated are you? What's the humidity like in the air? Are you sweaty?
Your mental state.
Yeah, what's your mental state? Are you just physically drained? Have you eaten today? These will change the conductivity of your body. And so to say, write down, oh, I press the power button 50 times, which is my comfortable level. It could be your comfortable level right now, but in 10 minutes time, your comfortable level might be 25. So always just set to comfortable, unless we tell you to set to above comfortable, which is kind of.
And we do on occasion.
Yeah.
We have a few protocols where we tell you it's not going to be comfortable.
Yeah. And then it says related to this mitochondrial question, should one mist with water, or just turn it up until sensation is felt on mitochondrial recharge?
It depends on what you're using. If you're using the pads on the palms of the hands and the feet, then you're just going to what's comfortable. If you're using the socks and the gloves, you do want to mist them. I have found that what works best for me is I put them on and then I use a spray bottle and I get them fairly damp. They're not dripping water, but I get them fairly damp. And over the course of those 30 minutes, they start to dry out a little bit. So I will remist them, but it's going to help the conductivity and just the comfort of using those garments. It's true of all the garments. The surface area that touches your body, you want to mist it with water, whether it's the neck, the shoulder, the knee sleeves, any of those, you mist the side that's going to touch the body. The socks and gloves are so thin that if I have them on my body and mist them, it's going to go right through.
Yeah.
That's not true of, a neck garment or something like that.
Yeah. And it's part of the process again of, like, anomicrocurrent has high voltage. It pushes the current hard. But when you're using cloth, what we're relying on is extremely thin silver threading weaved into these gloves. So the conductivity is there, but it's very, very mild compared to the conductive pads or the Y probe. So we need to kind of be able to mist them in most cases to get them working. We do include now a conductive garment care card as well.
Oh, nice. Good.
Yeah.
That's great.
So it talks about misting them. It talks about how to wash them. Um, you know, I'll have to share. I'm sure I probably never shared that with you, Annie.
No, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
great.
I'll
I
share
love
you a picture of it because then if we forget to put it in a box or we're out of
Yeah.
them, someone asks, you can send them that. But it's kind of like we have these little quick start cards in the box, and that's that. In fact, I think I have one right here. Hold on. I've got one in this box.
Yeah, that's helpful.
And if I don't, then I lied and we don't put them in the boxes. So this is the pinnacle. There it is. So it's a pretty big card, but it kind of is double-sided. It talks about
Great.
garment use, wrap use,
Oh
care.
my gosh, Rob, I need that. I
Yeah,
need
I
a
need to send that to you so that you can help people with that. But yeah, so we include that now just because we had so many questions with the garments, and we want to make sure people are able to use them and care for them that way. So yeah, okay. We're only got 10 minutes left, so I'll stop rambling. I've been studying quantum meditation, and they say that when you get into theta is when you can really get the deepest into your healing. Is there a way I can use my pinnacle to help me with my meditation practice? Yeah, so you've got theta in the pinnacle. It's
Can't
we
remember if
so
it,
yeah, we so rarely use it, don't we?
yeah, I
Um,
can't remember. Is it 12 to 30,
3 to 8,
3 to 8, 3 to
3 to
8.
8 hertz is the one in the pinnacle that's theta. Because we don't really recommend it as part of a protocol. It's not something we've really dove into. When people ask me about it, I say to just try it with the ear clips. So
Mhm.
you could be meditating and ear clip up on theta. It's the same sort of idea as the alpha ear clips. It's going to overwrite the brain waves with theta though instead of alpha. So yes, if you have the pinnacle, you can do that. How can you help stomach/digestive system issues? It's gonna vagus nerve. Yeah, right.
We've got a few others. We have an abdominal protocol. We have a root cause protocol. We have a few other things, like if there's a particular organ system that you know is struggling, like the liver or the gallbladder, something like that. We have a protocol for that. But the tried and true is going to be vagus nerve stimulation. That will always be part of the recommendation. But then your treatment coordinator can help you figure out other things that you should add in.
Yeah, absolutely. When I did my dissertation on vagus nerve, we saw I had a lot of people with like ulcerative colitis and Crohn's, and I was tracking pain and inflammation, but their symptoms of digestive issues like diarrhea and stomach cramps and gas also depleted. And all they did was vagus nerve in those case studies. So it does work. It will get that process done. But as Annie said, there's lots of other protocols as well. Um, can you tell us some of the protocols that are less is more, like only
Kind of
recommend?
all of them are less is more.
Yeah.
But things like 3 pathways, 6 points,
Mhm.
HGH, um, the dosing on C7. And typically it will tell you that, cranial nerve stimulations every 3 days. Like it typically will tell you in the protocol if it's not recommended daily.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it will say use every third day or do 1 to 2 times a week, or it's we try to be really clear about that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah. And then the follow-up to that as well is what protocols we want to make sure we feel. Well, we want to always feel them if we can.
right.
And then what about above comfortable? The only one that above comfortable comes to mind is little wings. If you're trying to push it because you're not getting it, I feel the burn a little bit. There's another couple, but I can't remember.
Bone spur. Bone
Bone,
spur is one of us.
yes, bone spur. Yeah,
Bone spur because you're trying to break those suckers up, and so you really kind of have to dig in there, and that doesn't always feel great. It's effective, but it's not going to feel super great at the
yeah.
moment.
No, exactly. What is the trick that you mentioned about keeping the unit on for the night with the PEMF pad for sleep instead of shutting it off during the night? So, first off, before I say what it is, a warning to everyone that the FDA, now roll my eyes when I say this, does not recommend using the device for more than an hour at a time. That is why it has an automatic shut off. So the
Right.
feature to remove the automatic shut off is for testing purposes only and is not recommended for therapy. There, disclaimer out of the way.
However,
However, if you want to
however,
do it,
we do it all the time.
exactly. So what you've got your plus and your minus button. It doesn't matter which device you have. You've got your plus and your minus button there. So I have two devices. One of them has no batteries. So this one here has batteries. You've got your plus and your minus button. You want to hold those down firmly with the device off, and then you flip it into the on position. Okay. And then when you release that, it should have done
It
that.
doesn't always work.
Always work.
I have found that if I put the device, you'll notice on the back of the device, there's a bit of an angle, right? Yeah. So I have found that if I put that angle hard down on a surface,
that right,
push the buttons down and then flip it on and hold the buttons for a few seconds, I tend to get a better result than just holding it in the air and lifting my fingers off too fast. Like it doesn't always work the first time. So you might have to try it a few times. The nice thing in Pinnacle is you'll know immediately if it's not worked because you start to move into your mode and you hear it beeping. In the Evolution, you don't know because it's going to beep as you move through the modes and beep as you increase the power, decrease the power.
Yeah.
What you'll have to wait for a minute for that first chime. And if it doesn't happen, you're successful. If it does, you have to start over. So that's why sometimes having the screen on the Pinnacle can be helpful. But that's the method. So
and we can't complain about it not working all the time because it's a testing safety feature. So we don't have a leg to stand on there. We're just going to use it for when we can and how we can. I just thought the back belt, can I put it on and move around, like taking my dogs for a walk? Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, just keep it
That's the nice thing about some of the garments and some of the passive treatments like that is that you can, that's why I like the socks and gloves for mitochondrial recharge and grounding is because I can be doing it and answering emails or, so that's the nice thing about some of those garments for sure.
Yeah, so it's like, can I download a PDF of the care card for the garments? Well, probably once I get it to the treatment coordinators for the first time in a year, because that's how long we've had it for, they will be able to share it with people. I know, I'm sorry, okay? I have a Pro Sport 3. What setting recommendations do I use? You mean for like Theta? You want to use?
I think that might have come right after Theta. It's the same thing in Theta. It will be 3-8T.
Yeah, I think FN 3-8T. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please explain the importance of treating C7. So that's really just for like, we talk about that when we're discharging EMFs because it's kind of connected to the thyroid without touching the thyroid. And the thyroid is like a sponge for electromagnetic fields. It's just constantly soaking them up. So being able to discharge C7 helps discharge the buildup of EMFs in the body. The bone spur, someone says the bone spur protocol for the pain, but it helps. Yeah, it does work, but it, you got to increase it to that point of discomfort for sure. So Callie says, sorry to say I did not receive the message you sent me yesterday during the Q&A. Maybe there is another Callie. I reached out to Leo via email, but his response did not contain any information about getting a password. So we have reset your password for you. I saw that in the team chat today. So it should be on you should be able to check your email and reset the password. But when you signed up for the reset, you would have had to create an account. When you sign up, that will be the password it's asking you for because it's all the programs are intertwined in there. So when you sign up for the reset and you purchase the program, you have to create an account with a password. Whatever that password is what it is. And we can double check through support whether you accidentally mistyped your email. I've had that happen before. Someone mistyped their email by a letter and then the username is wrong. So we'll figure it out for you. No worries there. Okay, so any further questions, anyone? Because we're right on coming up to that time. And that was the last one I had here in the chat. I will say, just a reminder to everyone that the reset, the ability to sign up and join the reset with all the bonuses from the Jumpstart and the discounts ends tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So within about an hour or two of Annie and my next meeting inside the treatment room that we're doing. PS3 protocols in general, they're all the same, Don. Like, I mean, the protocols work for people that are doing general treatments. You're looking at mitochondrial recharge. It's the same kind of process, right? And vagus
And
nerve
and
stimulation.
there's, I tell people, I feel like people don't use it enough. In your user guide are charts that go into every mode and what they're best for, whether
Yeah.
or not they modulate, all this great information. And so that is a wonderful, wonderful tool to use regularly. And there'll come a point where it clicks in and you just remember what mode you used for what, but until you get there, the charts are invaluable.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, okay, so a couple more questions here. Hair loss tricks. Yeah, I mean, it will either
There's
happen or it won't. um,
we have, if you go into the video library, Vienna, I know that I sent you information on getting in there today, and you type in hair loss, a video will come up. I believe it's blue stimulation through the brush is one recommendation, just to kind of stimulate the follicles.
yeah. And then I noticed the blanket is queen size. Do you have small ones? We have a crib size, which is actually half a queen. Bear in mind that the blankets go by the inch measurements on the website. Canadian queens and queen blankets and king blankets are different sizes than American ones, and these are made in Canada. So I get complaints about that all the time. So we put the inches on the pages for each blanket. So check those out and kind of space them out that way. And just curious why you don't post the general length of time and frequency in the notes on the video library. Is it an FDA BS issue? No, it's just because generally, like, there's not really a general length of time, right? That's the thing. We don't normally have a general length of time.
I mean, what we tell people is, unless otherwise stated, each mode for about 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Unless otherwise stated, if you're holding steady, about 3 to 5 minutes per mode. If you're painting, about 3 to 5 minutes, but you're really working out active zones. It can take a little bit longer, might be a little bit shorter. There's no real hard and fast rule. Again, some of it comes down to using your own intuition. When I treat my neck, I do 5 minutes per mode, and I'm doing 4 modes. That's a good amount of treatment. My neck can take it. Yours might not. So it's really hard to be hard and fast. What I will say is, in almost every video, maybe not some of the 10-minute trainings that Dr. Rob does, but in most videos, there comes a point in almost every video where the protocol is on a slide on the screen. Pause, take a screenshot.
Yeah.
It's going to tell you the modes to use. It's going to give you a lot of information at that point. Sometimes when I'm finding things for people, I will just fast forward to that point in a video and find it and close the video. So there's generally a place in the video where that happens. So that's something to look for too.
For sure. And as far as putting the frequency in the notes at the bottom, I get that that could be useful. It would just be extremely labor intensive because I think we've got like 300, 400 videos in the library.
And we've got 3 different devices, and that gets
Yeah.
confusing. Well, you say to use this, but I don't have it. Like,
Yeah.
It's tough, but we
may do it.
are working to the greatest common denominator here when we are trying to disseminate information. Is kind of.
Okay, so one last thing, guys. If you do want to sign up for the reset, which I highly encourage you to do, you can go to the hashaprotocolreset.com. We are out of time for now, but Annie and I will be back in a handful of hours. I don't necessarily know how many. I think maybe 5 hours to do another session where you can ask us more questions, and we'll be talking about the process that we go through when we are designing treatment plans and all of that. Okay, so. Thank you, everyone. One last reminder, we have this contest going on at the moment where the 121st person to sign up for the reset gets a one-on-one with me. This is because of 121 hertz. That's the reason we came up with that number. It's anti-inflammatory.
A great mode, one of my faves.
Yeah, exactly. So we're really close to that. So if you want to sign up, do so as soon as you can. You've only got until tonight anyway to get a chance to win that. And, I look forward to working with you one-on-one and helping you out. So thank you, everyone. See some of you this evening and see many of you in the reset. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.